Um, so today is the fourth and final lecture on our physical formula for power. Today's topic is going to be point of contact. Before we get started, Instructor Nate and I talked late last week, and I want him to open up with some of the notes that he's taken and share with us before we get moving on today's lecture. Instructor Nate.
Hi, honey.
I held the whole class up for you.
Peace and love, family. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right. Well, I did a lot of reflection on the last class, and I started really getting to feel the plus factor, and everybody here is involved or is familiar with the plus factor, right?
No, break that out for us.
No. Okay, understood. Well, the plus factor has everything to do with direction of flow. For we have this like drawing that we do for all the students where like you can see like an arcing motion, and when that arcing motion is executed, like you lose power in it. Like every direction that you have to change for, if you will, like you lose like energy, like a percentage of your power. If you start out with 100%, like you'll end up with like maybe 20 or 5 by the time you're done. But that straight blow, that plus factor comes in when it's straight. So like if a blow is traveling on a straight point of line, a straight plane, if you will, like it'll actually add to it as the blow like goes out. Like it'll increase. Like you'll start out with maybe 100% power, but then like it'll end up at 200. And you know that's why our blows are so explosive and so powerful. Like instructors always said that our blows are bullets and missiles. That's why they go through you and they hurt on the inside. Like usually it's the other side of your body where you feel it for the next day or two. And that's that plus factor right there. But I started, meditating on it too. And that plus factor has a lot to do with everything in this discipline. It's very relevant. Like I'm sure most of the people here have either been with us for the last few classes where Instructor Keith was teaching on the chakras and the eightfold path and all this, or they have watched the videos. So, that plus factor has a lot to do with the eightfold path even. Like, you got that first part of the eightfold path, which is get the right thought, the right speech, the right mindfulness, to start out with. But everything that you get right, like it actually adds to it, if you will. Like it's adding to your power right there. The plus factor gets involved like every step you take. And the same thing with like raising your frequency, like the chakras, when you open up, like you are adding, to your frequency as well. So your numbers start to go up when you're adding to your frequency, or when you start to open up your chakras, move up the ladder, if you will. And then let's see here. Oh yeah, and then also like the brainwave state. Like if you think about all of that, that's like another part of that plus factor right there. Like you're enlightening yourself, you're raising your frequency, you're like getting closer to that higher divine level or that true self, if you will. And I mean, it is involved with everything. And even if you do it, everything you do on the floor, even. There was one point in my training where I realized like willpower plus the beast within like was a powerful combination. And just like the more that you add to it on the floor, like the more powerful you become, but also with the philosophy and like all the path that we're taking, like you are the path, the eightfold path. I mean, it's who we are. The discipline's who we are. We're just here to just train and just be the discipline. Like, Salama. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's all connected too. Like the whole discipline is connected like a huge, vast wheel. So, the plus factor is involved everywhere you go with everything you do. And that was just what I wanted to speak on and, kind of present to you all.
Thank you, Instructor.
Thank you, Instructor.
I
welcome.
think that was
Sorry for the bit of choppiness.
All is well. I think that was exceptionally timely for today's lecture as we move into point of contact, not only because, excuse me, the plus factor is realized at the point of contact, but it also ties exceptionally well into what we have been doing on purpose as a collective. And so the plus factor being demonstrated through us joining together in meditation in the morning, through us joining together in these calls, and just overall building as a community and as disciples of the discipline as a clan, we are benefiting from the plus factor from all of our different resources, our gifts and talents, and contributions. So I think that was exceptional, Instructor Nate. I want to thank you. Thank you for that feedback and for that that submission. Now, several people have gotten on since we started. Welcome everybody. Instructor Northleg, I do want you to cue up my brother making history one more time. I can't watch it enough. And as you see it, I want you to look at your own hand, and I want you to look at, you know, the point of contact. No matter how you slice it, it's going to know, in most instances, most of us, our middle finger is the longest finger, but no matter how you slice it, no matter how your hand may be made, your fingers may be, you know, lengthwise, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be but one single point that will be the first point of entry when using this full hand pierce. Instructor North, can you cue that up? I think he had the baby. Let me see if I can do it. Hold on. Oh, there you go. So if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. We'll bring that back one more time to 2 or 3. Y'all can come
Instructor?
on. Yo, yes, sir.
Instructor Ghost looks like a crane right there.
He is a crane. He's a
I love
water
it.
crane.
Absolutely.
He's
Good
a water
job.
crane. So feel free to weigh in on this. I mean, if y'all heard this live, if you were to class live, or if you heard the actual recording, I acted all the way up. I couldn't contain myself, but feel free to come in. See, I can hear the sound of the board breaking without the sound effects. Yeah, that's right, Nishani. I hope you heard it, the actual break. Come on, family. Anybody have anything you want to say, express? I know I'm motivated.
Yeah, that was
Go ahead, brother.
man, my bad, G. But that was dope. That was super dope. And we all noticed how he did it off of his off the front foot. Almost like he was throwing a baseball or something, man. He just went ahead and just did it. So that just speaks to how advanced y'all are in the practice, man, to the point where, you know, y'all just got to worry about the point of contact sometimes. So that was dope, man.
That's a keen eye, Emerson. But even in that, and this is, you know, going to start us down our path on the lecture today, we realize that the point of contact is the 4th pillar in this formula for power, and that it rests upon the other 3. That point of balance, directional flow, and mechanical conditioning and directional flow have to be in place. And even though the rear foot came off the floor, if you take a good look at the front foot, it was rooted, it did not move, it didn't waver. So therefore, at the point of contact, that power was able to transfer.
Got it.
This is where we say, you know, you may have heard us say that, you know, Kempo is full of lies, or we shave things off. We build the base, and as we climb the ladder, there are different aspects of it that we can shave off, but again, we stay true to the principle, and that's why the principle allows us to pervade and break the quote unquote rules from time to time. Anybody else?
The snap. The reason why I keep asking for full speed, and I've asked for full speed since it's been displayed in the chat, and every time I want to see it full speed, because instructor fully illustrates how it's a snap. It's not the mechanical conditioning of it is such that he doesn't hold it out there. He's not attempting to slow, right. DZ just says slowly go through, but he's attempting to quickly pierce and retrieve. And it's illustrated very, very clear in the shot that is actually what breaks the board. The precision in his delivery and retrieval is almost like the slingshot or the rubber band snapping you and coming back really fast is what's actually hurting you, not necessarily it just touching you, you know. So that was very, very clear and evident in the video.
Very good, Theo. Another keen observation. I saw you put a whip in there, Christopher. So yes, much like a whip, which there's a depiction in the White Crane book that shows how that whip action creates that plus factor that Instructor Nate was alluding to, that by the time it gets to the point of contact on the retrieval, it's 2 times the rate of speed as it went out.
That is a perfect illustration of the plus factor. And if you watch him, like right after he makes that contact and snaps it back, he's ready to hit again. Like I honestly thought there was a knee strike coming, or, you know, it felt like it.
Exactly. Thank you. Come on, Issa.
Peace, y'all. Thank you, instructor.
Peace.
I definitely just wanted to say that I was just like, since it was sent to the chat and since I've seen it, I've been studying it. From what Emerson said about, you know, him leaving that foot, I viewed it as just a different type of power. Like he was illustrating certain points in the physical formula for power, but from all positions, you know, instructor was dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He was powerful from every position. He was a multi-dimensional fighter in that moment, and it was very effective. So I was watching and just studying his actual movement, the directional flow. Like it was perfect, you know, in and out, like for real, in and out. I wish I could verbalize this better for you all, but I've just been, in all honestly, just constantly rewatching. But I'm at a loss of words, but I'm so grateful to have this on footage so I can literally just study. So thank you, instructor, and yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Excellent analysis. Christopher, come on. And then Rafa, I want you to verbally, if you can, I want you to verbalize the statement that you made after Chris, and then we'll take off.
Peace, everybody.
Peace,
So
brother.
from the explanation that everyone's giving, what the idea that I'm getting in my mind is like his hand or his arm is like a slingshot, but the power or that plus factor seems to be like the rock at the end of that slingshot. Would that be a good example? Am I picturing that properly?
I actually like that thought from the perspective that the power is the projectile, which
Exactly.
is important to note because in real time, to Theo's point, in real time, you will notice that that board broke before, it seemingly broke before his hand got to it.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Pardon me?
That's how the only time I broke a board, like that's how it felt. It felt like my foot didn't even touch it.
Exactly. And that takes us further up the ladder, because to Issa's point, I don't know exactly what word he used, but it connoted to me the fact that metaphysically, there was energy. The energy is that which broke the board even before his hand got there. So it was, tied to his intention, which I want to call on Rafa if you can speak to verbally make the comment that you dropped in the chat for those that didn't see it.
This is not in the video that's up, but the actual video, I noticed the breath, the deep inhale right before execution and that deep exhale on contact. It was spot on, but it was definitely, I saw the breathing control. And it's proof that it's real, that the breath controls the power and everything else that we do.
Great observation. That's why it's so critical that we work the breath, while we align the breath. And even though instructor didn't let out a thunderous ki, the use of energy, the use of the breath was absolutely in play. And if you don't mind, Instructor Ghost, can you, take 30 seconds, a minute to just take us to that moment, what you remember of it, if anything, or in reflection, hindsight, observation, what can you share with us?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to thank everyone again for, the kind words and, knowing that it's an inspiration and a study and conversation piece to help us all elevate. So thanks again. And thank you, Instructor Nate. So when I reflect back on it, obviously I live in the crane system. So there, it may appear as though I'm not rooted, but I am rooted. And we are training to be able to basically locate that blow, even if there is a mistake. But at the same time, if you look at the foot, I was fully rooted on the one leg, which is crane, as Instructor Nate pointed out. Also, all of those key elements and components that everyone highlighted, all of that had to line up for that to work. Had my directional flow been off a hair, it probably wouldn't have been effective, but from what I remember is in the moment, my intention was there. I was thinking about the breath, the flight path of the blow, ensuring that I maximize the energy of the blow, which is, directional flow, and, the intent, it was just full intent, and what I also remember is that there was no pain. When it was all said and done, there was no pain. However, there was discomfort in my shoulder because of the energy that was moving through the limb. And that is why mechanical conditioning is so important, and also what we've always talked about, which is the limb.
Y'all about to head out too?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, good. That limb has to be able to house the energy moving through it, right? And then the last piece is, in the execution, upon point of contact, you have to let it go. when you don't let it go, when it comes to fear and doubt, that's when there will be poor execution, and that's when you'll get injured. So it's the point where the intent is there and you just let go. And that's what was displayed. You know, I went right, my intent was to go right through that board. And I think instructor North Leg pointed out that it was a whip, but he called it, I think he said a speed break. So it wasn't, that push or posing, when it was executed, it was in and it was out. I don't know if you wanted to add on to that, instructor, but that's what he had shared with me in terms of that style of break.
Yeah, I was just saying that it wasn't a power break. Like normally when people do like roundhouses or stuff like that, it's like a power break. But with that, the Pierce hand, it was more of a speed break. And you can tell by how Instructor Vine was not affected when the board broke. So you see he was standing like totally still. And because that energy went through and came back, it didn't, it wasn't a push. It was just in and out like it's supposed to be.
It was divine, brother. It was evidence of divinity, and that the philosophy meets the practice. The philosophy meets the practical application. And it just could not have been a better segue to close out the physical formula for power and to move us into today's fourth and final lecture. And much like that break, this one we really could have done in an hour because there's not a whole bunch to put on this. But thank you, brother. Thank you for that time, man. And
thank you, brother,
walking us through that. Absolutely. Okay, so somebody who's iPhone? iPhone got a hand up. Come on, iPhone, right quick.
Question, instructor. When you say let go, what do you mean?
Is this Minister Freedom? Who's
no? This Raphael.
Oh, what's up, Raphael?
How you feeling, bro? You all right?
Excellent, excellent. Ask your question again.
Yeah, I know what he's asking.
You heard it? Okay.
Yes, sir. So what that means is some of us when we strike the board or the Markawar board or board, we tap it or we don't strike it. So letting go, an example of letting go would be mentally, I expected it to break. I knew it was gonna break. The only thing I had to do was execute. So in my execution, I had to ensure that the formula for power was in place, and then add or include all of the other metaphysical components that will make that blow effective to destroy that target. So in other words, letting go is losing concern for self, like I'm gonna break my finger. No, sir. I expected it to break. In order for that to be real, I had to let go of concern for self and fear. That's letting go. I hope that makes sense.
Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Kimmy.
I don't know if I missed it, but I put in the chat. Was this your first time breaking with that weapon, Instructor Ghost?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And and for the record, I'll probably never do it again. If you want to, you gotta watch the tape.
From recorded history, this is the second time we've seen this caught on tape. So this is why it's historic, that it is worthy of our time and discussion. Come on.
I got a
Tiffany.
question.
Mhm.
Instructor Ghost, what did it feel like?
You know what? In hindsight, in a way, I didn't actually allow any feeling or emotion to become a part of it. I just wanted to complete the task at hand. I hope that makes sense.
I feel like you're like an astronaut and everybody's like, hey, how did it feel? Where did you go? And where was your mind? And where were you floating off to when your hand went through that board?
Yeah, but you know what though? I had to, we always talk about a switch, when we go there, and there's a space where, we turn it on and we go into a mode, some people call it Zen. But when I actually, when I was up and the instructor said, "You all right, brother, you up?" I had to turn it on. And honestly, and I've said this a few times, I don't even remember the moment. The only thing I remember is him lifting the board in front of me. And then the next thing you know, I was walking away from it.
Wow.
And that was evident in looking in your face, looking in your eyes. It's clear to see that you went there and you came back. And you were 2-3 steps back before you were back in your normal waking state. And so I can't express how big a deal this is, because it brings to bear, it manifests so many things that we discuss, that we talk about in our philosophy classes and the like. And it just cannot be underscored. It just cannot.
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
May I? All right. Brother Ghost, when he got up, he went right into what we call one-pointed mindfulness, and he became the blow. Like his mind was right there at the tip of that full body pierce. And when he did so, like his intention was to break the blow, and then his attention was right there at the tip of that spear, if you will. So, I mean, it goes into a lot of what we do in the discipline, but that's why the moment didn't even matter, and why he didn't even remember anything, because he was that blow right there in that moment. Nothing else mattered. It was just that blow, just that strike. And it, like he said, it's a place we go. It's a beautiful place to be.
Absolutely. Okay. It is Jeremiah, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, Instructor Ghost, everybody, peace. But when you were saying how, I guess you had like concern for self, or you didn't have concern for self, rather, and that was what allowed the break to happen. And so this past week during the floor practice, when we had the boards, I didn't break the boards like the first 3 attempts. And so I kind of got in myself, and I got in my head and everything like that. And I, and I was just like, I got angry. And so like the second go round, when the board came back around me, I got it that time. And when I got home later, the risk that I did with the second time it came, it was like nothing was there, like, right, like no bruise or anything. But the one when I was just trying so hard to break, like that wrist was swole, like it was swole, I had to put ice on it and everything. But when I was so into self the first go round. So I understand what you're saying about it, because it was just like, I gotta break this, it was just I, right? And so it was just off. Everything was off. My mechanical conditioning was off. My ego was, it was just off. And so, after Instructor Vaughn had us sit down and reset, you know, it was like, okay, I had to let that go. And so when that board came around, so I see that, you know, I'm learning to let go because I didn't break it the first time. You know what I mean? I held on to it and it didn't break. But, you know, I think that's going to be what is going to be key. And in all our growth is to be able to let go. So you saying that is like, okay, now I see what it was that allowed me to break that board is I allow myself to let go. And so now, you know, like you set that example. So now this can be another focal point for students to just, you know, focus on, you know, in our growth. And I appreciate you for that, you know, and those words behind it, other than the action, because the words make it even more than just the action. It just helps it solidifies it. It's just amazing. I love it.
That's a great share, brother. Let go and let God is what comes to mind. Let God show up in you and through you. And without further ado, you know, let's move forward because we will have more discussion. Again, my outline is relatively short today. So with regard to point of contact, again, this is the fourth, and obviously I would even call it the pinnacle. You know, when I think about it, I look at it as a pyramid building from the base up. We started with the point of balance. Obviously, we need to have a rooted foundation. We move up from there and we build on that foundation with our mechanical conditioning. And from there, once that mechanical conditioning has been fortified and established, you need to control the direction in which you project that energy and that power. And finally, it is culminated with the point of contact. So again, in divine fashion, this built up to the perfect space. And instructor utilized everything in that moment, inclusive of that which is of the divine and beyond the flesh, which is his intention. And intention is a critical point under key points of point of contact. Intention is critical. But in pondering on this, an acronym came to mind with regard to the word point. With regard to the word point, an acronym came to mind. The P being purpose. What's the point? What's the purpose? The O being objective. What's the point? What's the objective? The I being intent. What's the point? What is your intent? You better not, excuse me. N being need. What's the point? What's the need? And then the final letter T being takeaway. What's the point? What is the takeaway in all that you're saying and doing? So that was the acronym that came to me regarding point: purpose, objective, intent, need, and takeaway. And so when we look at it purely from a physical application, from the physical application of it all, what is the reason for a strike? What is our reasoning when we deploy a strike? And excuse my diverted attention, but the 7-week-old puppy is moving around and I got to keep a watchful eye on her. Otherwise she'll make too much noise. So what is our reason in striking and defending ourselves and delivering that point of contact, delivering that blow or that strike to a point of contact? Just a few. We intend to disable. We intend to maim, break, destroy, penetrate, terminate, end the confrontation. This is the reason for it. Where, again, physically speaking, where do we deliver these strikes? You know, vital areas: the eyes, the neck, the throat, the spine, ribs, jaw, the groin, knees, pressure points, meridians. These are pressure points, meridians. These are escalating up the scale of the ranking system. So where we are now, where you are, many of you are in the green belt. As we get into, purple, blue, and beyond, we add different aspects. And it becomes very evident, excuse me, that the art is capable of delivering a one-strike death blow, a one-blow death strike, however you want to say it. It is real. It can happen. So that penetration of that board, penetrating the neck, penetrating the throat, disconnecting the larynx or severing the vocal cords or any of those things was evident as viable and able to happen. Once we add in the knowledge of the energy flow channels, the meridians, we add in the knowledge of pressure points, really quickly we get very lethal. And so just wanted to make note of that. And then when I asked the question of, well, what is it that we strike with when delivering the point of contact? We strike obviously with our hands, the palms, the fingertips, the knuckles, the knees, the elbows, the blade of the hand, the balls of the feet, the heels, the wrists, completely weaponizing the body and the limbs. And so in staying true to the foundation and to the formula, having control of one's center, having conditioned the limbs, instructed, beautifully illustrated that. And many of us, all of us, I would say, dare say, the vast majority of us that have had the experience of breaking a board, better stated, have had the experience of not breaking the board. We know that pain, discomfort, swelling, lacerations, etc., will follow when not done correctly. In contrast, when you have broken a board, you do not have the same response. The body does, in most instances, doesn't even feel it. So that highlights how critically important executing according to the formula is. And whenever one of those aspects is deficient, not to say you can't still break, but it's a clear-cut difference in how that comes into being, and most importantly, what you feel as the deliverer. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Questions, comments on that?
May I, instructor?
Yes, sir.
It was about a week ago, maybe two. I believe it was Instructor Ghost actually put a board in front of me on a roundhouse kick, and I did not get my toes pulled completely back, and I broke the board. However, my big toe, I felt it. We had to continue for practice. However, I felt that sensation of the board on the tip of my big toe for at least 5 to 10 minutes after I actually broke the board. Yes, so we can break a board without the proper mechanics. Yes, however, it don't feel good at all.
Yes, sir. Thank you for corroborating that, Theo. Thank you very much for giving us a real life testimony as to how that happens. Okay, so several key points, and many of which we've already discussed, but it cannot be underemphasized. Intention is critical. Intention is absolutely critical in terms of effectiveness with the point of contact and the delivery of power. And as instructor said, Instructor Ghost, stated, he was already through the board. It was not a matter of if the board was going to break. The board was already broken. It was just a matter of him staying true to the principle. And in doing so, again, like I really hate to be a broken record, but it only counts when you can make it count. Like all the information in the world, all the floor practice in the world, all the work on the Makawara in the world, what does it account for if in the moment you can't utilize it? All is for naught. And so This is why it's critically important that, and we talked about this last night, you know, in floor practice, we've done thousands of kicks and punches, millions of us, millions of them, some of us, right? And you cannot get bored with that. You cannot allow your ego to make you think you're beyond that, because you're not beyond that. And the fact remains that if you don't make it happen when it has to happen, when it counts, it's nothing. It's all for naught. And so one of the things that is so exciting to me about that display was the pressure was on. My brother was on the 50-yard line with all the lights on him. He was in the end zone, had to catch the ball for the winning touchdown. I mean, that was the last second shot to win the game, and he hit it. He clutched out. He did it. And that's something that, you know, I want us to strive for and hold on to. And intention is tied to imagination for those of us that are climbing up the ranks. When we state to you and we taking you through floor practice and it's said to you, envision a blow coming at you, see a target in your mind, envision where you're delivering that strike, envision, you know, that side kick going into the ribs, envision that drag sweep, envision that bear claw. Is you cheat yourself not doing it. And we break it out and we work ourselves into a vigorous sweat, and that's cool, but do not cheat yourself of the visualization and the metaphysical work that you can do while physically on the floor and in floor practice. Same carries over into our conditioning aids. When you're dealing with that bucket, speaking of that bucket, one thing, you know, before instructor took to the floor, instructor Vaughn, you know, told him to go get the bucket and basically get warmed up, tuned up. And myself, and I know instructor Ray, he caught our attention because just in his own space off to the side, working with that sand bucket on the floor, excuse me, he had the floor vibrating. And it was in and of itself was impressive. And I even, you know, put a bug in his ear when I heard it. But I say that to say, whether you're on the floor, whether you're on a conditioning aid, he gave you all the jewels and you saw it come to a head. And I just encourage you that if you're in the art and you're here with us, give it all you have and just follow the instructions. Ask questions on the spaces that you don't understand. And then after that, get out your head, like he said, and just do it. And the power will manifest. But again, I'm saying all that because intention is critical. So even with that Makawara, I whenever I get somebody over there, I instruct you. You're not coming to this to break this, but you're coming to this to develop power. How are you developing power? You are delivering power into it. And as you deliver power into it, you will realize that quotient going up. There's a point where the quote unquote pain will subside and the intention will take more precedence, and you can feel when you have delivered power into that apparatus. And that is critical, that we get out of our mind, lose concern for self, excuse me, and allow your God essence to rise in you, so that hopefully it comes to the point that it's on demand, and when you need it, it shows up and serves you. Instructor Nate, you want to say something, or you just coming off the video?
Oh, I just turned on my video.
Okay, very good. Okay, go ahead.
Well, one thing that does come to mind is one blow needs to be all you need. Like the aim of all training is for one blow. Like that blow should be enough to end the person, no matter what blow it is. Like that blow needs to be able to kill. And that point of contact, there's a lot of places on the body you can hit that will kill a person.
Thank you, sir. Exactly right. So under some of my key points for the point of contact, intention is at the top. Intention is critical. And then we talked about this. Point of contact is built upon the first three components. Again, point of balance or control over center or establishing a base. The strike must be supported, which we saw even on one leg. Mechanical conditions, the weapons must be tempered. And then directional flow. The travel path must be true, whether it be straight or circular. Another key point for me is avoiding traffic. You know, a striking along the path of least resistance. So what do you mean by that? And I want you to put yourself in a combat and exchange mindset. You know, the point of contact is power, better stated. Power is best delivered where there is the least amount of resistance. Although power does not need, strength needs resistance to realize itself, power does not. But the point here is avoiding traffic. And so the path of least resistance, whether that is an upper blow, whether that is a lower blow, whether there's a blow to the ribs, under the arm, whether there's a blow, between the hands to the neck, whatever that may be, key component to point of contact is a travel path with the least resistance. So avoiding traffic. Another key component is instantaneous. And we talked about that. It's not prolonged. Otherwise, the power diminishes. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody said that, I think it was Issa, that mentioned that no, it might have been somebody else. Anyway, somebody mentioned that the power is delivered and is back. It's instantaneous. That strike makes the point of contact, the energy is delivered and it's retracted. Instructor Nate talked about the plus factor. You absolutely destroy the plus factor when you leave the weapon on the contacted surface. No matter what it is, palm heel, snake's tongue, no matter what it is. The bear claw in a sense, but at the point of contact, when the fingers come into the striking surface, that tear and that pull, they happen together. But if you leave the contact, if you leave your point of contact, if you leave the weapon on the contacted surface, you are diminishing the power. It's very important. We deliver power. This is why we don't throw our blows, we deliver our blows, we deliver our strikes. You have an aim, you have a goal, you have an intention, you deliver the power, you let the power do what the power does, and you retract and prepare to do it again. Another one, another important aspect is that the fact that the point of contact is not always a strike. And I'm speaking again, we're talking about the physical form, physically delivering weapons, or martial application, to be more succinct and clear. So the point of contact is not always a strike. We are strikers by nature. We are strikers by training. We are strikers by, our primary method of operation is to strike, but it's not always so. So in the martial application, the point of contact can be a body throw. It can be a sweep. It could be an extended throw. So it's not always a strike, as it were. And then as we shift in the direction of the metaphysical application, point of contact is not always contact in any way, shape, or form. There are times when the best point of contact is to diffuse or avoid a situation altogether. This also applies itself in our physical martial application, which we maneuver in order to strike. So you don't have to contend with the energy coming at you. If you maneuver accordingly, it sets you up for the point of contact, reducing traffic, putting you in the best position to strike, giving you the proper angle to execute. So again, this is not lengthy on the martial side, because the point of contact is the pinnacle of the formula for power. So from there, I'm opening the floor for any statements, questions, comments, any areas that need to be repeated, clarified.
Excuse me, instructor.
Yes, sir.
you go over the push power, push factor? I want to say.
Oh, plus factor, PLUS, plus factor. And the plus factor is, well, it's a number of ways to approach it. So Instructor Nate talked to us about the fact that in many instances, the straight blow, the blow delivered on the straight line, does have the plus factor in that it accelerates, in that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And so the momentum or the energy that you project, coupled with the whipping action or the retrieval, again, and that's a great question, because another thing, and I want to drill this in you all's head, and I'm taking you to floor practice. When you hear us screaming at you, hollering at you about synchronizing, synchronize, get the hand back, strike and get the hand back, strike and get the weapon back, strike and get the foot back, retrieval, synchronize, retrieval, get it back, deliver it, get it back. These are key components to establishing or realizing or benefiting from that plus factor. Another way you can look at it is the plus factor is the opposite of diffusing factor, meaning, again, delivering a blow, delivering a strike, and leaving that weapon on the target is diffusing it. The opposite of diffusing it is delivering the strike and retrieving it back. Therefore, you're leaving that energy, you're projecting that energy forward into the target, and thus creating or benefiting from the plus factor. You want to clean that up anywhere, Instructor Nate?
You did really good with it. The only thing I'd point out is, the point where we start the blow, if you look at it from a blow standpoint, you start with 100% energy, and then as the blow travels and unfolds and gets to where it's going, it's got 200%. So you're getting more energy as the blow continues. You're getting that plus factor, as opposed to where if you go on an arcing line, every time you have to change direction, you're losing energy right there. So that is, the plus factor right there. And then also it can go into the metaphysical too. Like you could think about it like with your raising your frequency or your pleasant feelings. Like, the more you add to that pleasant feelings, the more it adds to, your happiness or your enlightenment, or, along the path or wherever you may be heading. It's a powerful tool. And it's relevant with everything that we do. It goes everywhere with us. It's kind of crazy, actually, the way the plus factor works. Like you can take it anywhere. It works anywhere you go and with anything you do.
Exactly. And perfect segue to the metaphysical, because another aspect of the plus factor is the work we're doing at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting acquainted with and energizing the energy centers. Another aspect of the metaphysical application of the plus factor is getting the mind out the way, getting the brain out the way, moving in the absence of thought, moving in the moment, moving with intention. Plus factor is intention, seeing it broken. You're not striking that board, you're striking through that board. So all of these things build into the plus factor, which is power, distinctly different from strength. Does that put some meat on the bone for you, Brother Marquise?
Yes, thank you very much, Instructor. Clarity.
Excellent. Thank you for the question. You see how that spurred so much more, and I'm sure other people got something from that too. Any other questions as we begin to segue to the metaphysical?
I have a question. Could you talk, you said sometimes the best point of contact. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you sound a little muffled, but we can make it out.
Okay. How's this? You said sometimes the best point of contact is diffusing energy or a confrontation, and you use a maneuver as an example. Could you maybe go more in depth with that?
So, okay, so diffusing the situation, no mas, I don't want, no problem, could be the best, most of the time is the best way to go, because, that's just the best way to go. When we get it, when a situation has tumbled to a low point of physical combat and confrontation, it's a low point. So at any point that we can avoid such a thing, in my opinion, that's the best way to go, because there's always other factors that are going to follow that encounter. But specific to the Marshall application, avoiding diffusing the situation, better stated, traffic, I would want you to focus on attempting to strike through traffic as a best way to realize the point of contact. Because when attempting to deliver a blow through traffic, obviously you are not allowing full expression, or you're having friction on the blow. Some way, somehow, you're diffusing or reducing its potential going through traffic, whether it forces you to take an angle that's less than precise, or you literally are confronting other body parts, be it a hand, be it an elbow, be it a forearm, in an attempt to get your weapon delivered. So that's what I meant by that.
Okay, I understand. The going through traffic part helps me put it in better perspective. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else? Okay. All right. So shifting to the virtual dojo, the everyday introduction or utilization of the point of contact. I have really quite round, open statements. Again, one of the top line items is intentionality and directed energy. So meaning in life, whether we're directing our energy into our education, whether we direct it into our career, relationships, health and wellness, our hobbies, our children, our discipline, the art, how much energy do we direct into the generous discipline? So that becomes the point of contact, is driven by intention, and that, is a really big deal. And I won't get into the metaphysical formula for power at this time, but core to it is intention. Because when we move beyond the flesh, and even in moving the flesh, my intention is to move the hands. There's an energy behind, the movement of the body, and it starts with intention. It starts in an invisible space, and then it becomes tangible. So same holds true in our everyday lives. How many times do we start any endeavor? It starts with thought. And many times, that thing that we're working on, it takes time before it's realized to the world, before it's visible. So the same with power, and the same with our delivery. To that end, along those lines, one of the key components is to see the end from the beginning. This is where we have our dream boards. This is where we write our plans. This is where our affirmations live. This is where our work ethic and our chipping away at, the robust plans that we have. This is where that lives, is seeing it from the beginning, or seeing the end of the thing in the beginning, which one of those good books starts with that type of dialogue. And then metaphysically speaking, there are different manners of force, different levels of force. And this kind of goes back to what you pulled out, Christopher, is that, and I just use myself as an example. I use a situation. So my job, my job with the city of Detroit, a couple of weeks ago, we had a meeting. We had a guest speaker, if you will, a lady that was with the ethics department. And so we were taking this mandatory training, and she made a couple statements on two different occasions. She made comment on our former mayor, Mr. Kwame Kilpatrick. She didn't speak on him directly, but indirectly, she talked about him, and she did it by referencing his 28-year prison sentence that was commuted by the the 45th president. And I took exception to it. But having grown in wisdom, I didn't utter a word. I didn't say anything about it. But what I did do is my director, you know, I guess she's used to me having something to say, and I guess she was looking at my face. So after the meeting, she texted me. She's like, you know, you were awfully quiet. What, you know, what's going on? And you know, I said to her I used an extended throw. I used a non-direct approach to make clear to her what bothered me. And I laid it out for her quite flat, and I talked to her about how I didn't appreciate this woman, you know, making reference to the young Black man that got overly sentenced. And meantime, in the same city, you know, our middle-aged white mayor has done the same by way of, you know, having a extramarital affair. The woman he was having an affair with, you know, was director of a nonprofit that was directly benefiting from city contracts and the like. And I told her, you know, about that. You know, I didn't appreciate it. And I said, it's just a small microcosm of the same thing that happened at the Capitol. That had that been, you know, Black, brown, or yellow people, red people that stormed that building, it would have been a bloodbath. So as opposed to going directly at this foreign person, this, you know, guest speaker, and putting her on blast in front of, you know, the whole staff, I utilized the opportunity that my director brought to me to voice my grievance and to put her on notice. And what it did is it showed me who she was. This is another thing. Not that I didn't know it, not that I don't know who she is already, but it was actually very gratifying in a different kind of way. So before, you know, I'm gonna come right at you and I'm gonna let ego be my driver, and I'm going to force you into a position that you're gonna have to defend yourself publicly, at which point it's not really best for me because I'm the subordinate. And she's already shown me that she would let me know that I'm a subordinate by giving me a suspension on another thing. So instead of letting my ego, my anger, my feelings and emotions be my masters, I use them as my servant. And I flipped the table on her privately. And she showed me that my point of contact was superior, because in her response to me, she totally leapfrogged the commentary about our mayor. And she talked to me about, you know, how I conducted myself in the meeting. And she talked to me about how she felt about the Capitol, but she leapfrogged the monkey in the middle. So that was cool. So that's an example of me using the discipline to get my point across, not injure myself, and do so in something less than an aggressive way. Some may have seen it as passive. Some may have seen, you know, I don't know how you want to see it, but that's an example of utilizing the discipline metaphysically and having my point of contact reach its target and do what I wanted it to do for me. So any comment, feedback, examples, any infusions, because I bring all that, okay, I see you struck the north. I bring all that to the surface because at this point, I would like to hear how the buildup of the formula for power from our base to our conditioning to our directional flow, culminating at the point of contact tonight. I would love to hear some examples or feedback on how this has happened to play out for any of you. Instructor North Leg.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that when we speak about point of contact, the informal definition of point of contact is when and where you make contact with the blow, right? So this whole thing is about being powerful, right? So the when and the where you make contact. So a good point of contact, the where is striking vital areas, obviously eyes, throat, groin, etc. But another piece that is just as important is the when you strike, which draws it tells us the importance of the maneuver, because it's been told to us that the maneuver, if you maneuver properly, when you do it upon the opponent's full commitment, is likened to when you walk down the stairs in the dark and you miss a stair and you get a moment of panic. And striking somebody in that moment of panic is the win piece. Because if we were in a confrontation or a combat situation and somebody struck at me and they felt me block, it alerts the person that, oh, I didn't get in. So now they'll either come with another blow or they'll be prepared to take a blow, right? So in that preparation, that's a bad win. So I wouldn't strike when a person is prepared to take a blow, because it'll be less effective, i.e. it'll have less power or impact. So I want to utilize the proper timing and placement of the blow, and that encompasses point of contact. And then I just wanted to draw the parallel from that definition directly to the example that you gave, because you didn't do it when everybody was watching, because now it'll make you look like the bully or the aggressor. You did it in private. So that was like when, the person's guard was down, so to speak. So they weren't prepared to take that blow. And then, I know you hit her with the Ginsu knives and come through all the way up. I already know how that went. So yeah, just, adding to, but yet applauding your application in the virtual dojo.
Thank you, instructor.
Yeah, no problem.
Perfect segue, brother. Thank you very much. Instructor Vaughn.
Yeah, there are, as we discussed, 9 P's under intention. And point of contact is one of those P's under intention. And Instructor North expanded the definition by saying when and where, time being an element of it. Also, in your example, you hit another P in posture. Posture and poise.
Yes, sir.
And in your posture and your poise, it was off-putting to her because she was accustomed to seeing you in another vein. Because you have grown in such a way, she had to circle back around and say, wait a minute. Hey, was something wrong today? Because the old you,
Yes, sir.
right, would have fired her ass up and thought about the consequences later,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
But because you have grown in such a way, your posture changed. Your poise was different, right?
Yes, sir.
And you actually hit another P and perfected
Yes, sir.
that point of contact, causing her to go in a whole nother damn direction.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, good work. And this is what Master Jawad has always highlighted, in that being black belts of life and demonstrating that mastery off the floor, off the physical dojo or ibamu, so to speak,
Yes,
and
sir.
whooping ass in that damn boardroom.
Yes, sir.
Good work, bro.
Thank
Proud
you,
of you, man.
Thank you, instructor. Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to open the door. The 9 P's, I see you, Theo. The 9 P's are under the metaphysical formula for power. That is not going to be covered in this lecture series. Thank you, sir. Anybody want to, and in this moment, I really want, because this is closing out. And again, it's like, man, the divinity is amazing. I got goosebumps. So Instructor Ghost is going to be opening the next week. Instructor Ghost will be leading the lecture. So as we depart from this 4-week series, anybody care to share with us the impact of the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks?
Instructor.
Yes, sir.
May I add?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. And what I wanted to also highlight, and I'm not sure if you mentioned it yet or not, but when we talk about point of contact, what's very important is interval.
Yes, I missed it. Yes, sir.
So interval is the distance between your blow and the point of contact. So it's very clearly stated. In life, obviously earlier in the conversation, we were taught, I think Brother Christopher had a question about diffusing an altercation or something like that. But if there, for example, is energy being projected in my direction, I will ensure that I place myself outside of his or her interval to avoid the full impact of that blow to affect me emotionally or the ego. Because when we are confronted in some sort of confrontation, personal life, business, or even in training, what always shows up? It's our ego. So obviously, when we're in that position, if we allow ego to become a poor master, that's when the altercation or the argument ensues. So the point of all of that is, with interval, you place yourself outside of the impact of that blow or that energy, be it a maneuver, redirection, or yielding. And that can be taken metaphysically or physically. So I just wanted to add that piece, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was perfect, because interval slipped right past me. So that was excellent. Thank you, brother, for the backstop. Instructor Vaughn.
Oh man, another good point. Which interval, as Instructor Ghost so eloquently put it, operating in a detachment. Detachment doesn't necessarily mean that you're not connected, because in yielding, maneuvering, or deflection, which is also a part of the Crane's arsenal, deflecting blows, where there can also be a sort of, I won't even say sort of, where you can emotionally deflect ill-spirited comment. One form of deflection could be turning it into a joke and then having everybody laughing rather than you absorbing the full impact of that particular insult. Or simply just silence could be a way to detach or deflect or saying, hey, I know I know it was a bad, I know it's an emotional day for everyone. Let's just take a break. Another way of deflecting and not absorbing the full impact of an insult or an ill comment, which is, ways to deflect, ways to detach, ways to use interval in such a way that it disarms or dismantles the person delivering the attack verbally or physically, which is an excellent point. When you keep all of these things in mind, you really wear and embody the discipline well. So I think these discussions, these talks really creates, or as was stated earlier, creates this plus factor. Just in this discussion, the reflection of it will be a reflection on these series that that are being unfolded here can offer diamonds for years to come, depending on where you are. So I think the discussions are invaluable. I think that the growth from the instructors leading these discussions are just remarkable. You can actually see and feel the growth. And as you grow, you cause people to grow around you. So again, another excellent point. Using interval, using, as instructor North's comment was, when and where to expand the definition of point of contact. It's just really all around solid discussion. Well done.
Thank you again, instructor. And you just made me present to that exponential growth. So we talk about plus factor, but then when you bring us all together, it's an exponential increase, because as you stated, being worked in the discipline, not just on the floor, but in the philosophy side, and being, tapped on the shoulder to lead these discussions, it elevates us. In turn, we elevate the students. In turn, the students elevate us again, because at every turn, from not only from your questions, but from your increased martial skills, it forces us to keep leveling up. And all that is doing is exponentially pushing not only the discipline and not only us as individuals, but pushing us as a collective. And then we multiply, because then your family sees you, and then they want to get involved, and your friends see you, and they want to know what's going on. What are you doing to find this power and move it in your life? And it's just like if we could just multiply 1 penny every day for a month, we rolling in the dough. So that's literally, metaphysically, what we're doing, period. So it is 9:24. It is 32 lovely, beautiful people on the call, on the meeting tonight. If we have 1 minute apiece, we're gonna run into 10 o'clock. So let's get that started. I'm gonna go with the first person at the top of the line. That's my little sister Kemet. Talk to us. And again, I really would love to hear how this series has moved, or have you seen it move in your life any way, shape, or form, increasing your power in the virtual dojo?
So today was a great class per usual. Glad that I was able to join this, and I was upset that not upset, but I felt some type of way that I missed last week. But so today was great. For me, the tying it all in together, like just brings more attention to how just overall my attention on the floor, especially after the break that the instructor Ghost did. It kind of solidified like the intention has to be there, because it brought back to when we first conditioned after our test, and how all of us that conditioned, we all were like, man, our fingers weren't staying straight. Our fingers weren't staying sharp how they should, like, and even more so in the sand more than the rocks, which is surprising to most of us. But it just solidifies that we have to incorporate the formula for power, and we have to not strengthen, but we have to, really get into that mechanical conditioning. We have to really focus on the contact and where it goes. Like, I know it's always saying like, yeah, bring the attention to the fingertips. And I can't say that I've mastered that yet, but now seeing it firsthand, I see why that's important. So I know that that's one thing that I need to work on. And on top of that, bringing in the meditation for the week and tying that all in, it was like I was able to see what went wrong after the test, attempting to break. And to me, although it wasn't a fail, it was a fail in my eyes, but a learning lesson. It was able to show me like, you didn't fail, but you have work to do with the breath. And I brought your attention to that on my first share, how Instructor Vaughn said that I don't breathe deep enough. And I just noticed like it's difficult for me to do that. It feels like there's a blockage there. So the meditation throughout the week felt better. Especially when we went into embracing the tree the first day, I was like, oh man, my arms are in pain. Everything feels like this and that. And then the next day, once somebody had told me what I missed in class, how you broke down basically how we should stand. Like our arms don't have to be completely, parallel, like straight, and how we need to be grounded. I was able to incorporate that, and it felt totally different, and I could feel the power just manifesting through my body. So just everything ties everything up for me on the floor, and how much more I need to be intentional on the floor with my blows, with my breathing, and where the power goes. Like not just striking because this is what the floor practice is, or not just, okay, we're doing a wrist, so that's the point. No, it needs to be, if there was somebody there, if there was a board there, that intention needs to be there, because if you were in danger, that's one hitter quitter needs to be it. So this whole lesson was just great for me, and it feels good just because we learned this in the very beginning, and a lot of times people don't revisit things and other practices, so they just give you the foundation and you have to just go from there and just continue to learn and just add on top of it. But it feels good to revisit it and know like, hey, you might have forgot this along the way, so now it's time to get back to it in order for you to grow even more and learn. So thank you, instructor, and thank all the other instructors, and Instructor Nate for joining us today. So happy to have him on as well.
Excellent. Great share, little sis. Thank you very much. Trust and believe everybody's gonna level up off of this. It just is that it's just one of those moments in time. We all gonna level up, because I'm in them barrels myself. Like, okay, bro, I see you. I got work to do.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, Aaron.
Peace, family. Thank you, Instructor Aku, for the series. You did a really good job. Proud of you. I experienced a lot of growth in this whole series. Growth in consistency and being intentional, especially with the meditation every morning. And this series, especially the one, well, tonight, put a lot of pieces together in the puzzle for me, as far as being on the floor, connecting the dots to the reasons for the strike and where to strike and what we're using, why we're using it. And I understand the plus factor because I do that on the floor and not knowing what it was that I was doing. So I have a better understanding of that. And so, yeah, this is, it was really good. Thank you.
Welcome. Good feedback. Thank you. Nishani. Okay. Sister Teresa. Go ahead, instructor.
I was just gonna say she said she was at work, so she might not be able to.
Okay. Okay, cool. Anybody else in the chat that you can see that said they weren't going to be able to communicate, so I can go past them? Okay. Teresa, are you there?
Yes, instructor Aku, I'm here.
All right. Talk to us.
Um,
And y'all can come off. You can come off. You know, you can show your face by all means. This is our last one, so.
I usually be on camera, so.
Okay.
It's a lot. Okay. So I'm getting it together day by day. I'm smiling because it's just like I'm still in awe. It's just so much I'm learning. And the meditations, wow. And just pulling it all together. I know it's coming. And I think I might be too anxious as far as the meditation, that I need to like calm myself down, and I'll be able to tap into whatever better. So I'm working on my breathing now. I've been looking to see how to do the I think it's called the inverse breathing, where you breathe doing that. And kind of just slowing myself down and trying to get that, I guess, I don't know if it's ego out of there, just wanting to get that feeling that I know, or that sight or the insight that I know is there. Tapping into, getting to tap into it. But reminding myself, taking it one step at a time, day by day. And my next step is to see how to make these conditioning tools, a couple of conditioning tools for myself. Okay. And the instruction was very informative. I understand everything that you were saying. I appreciate the time, that the effort, the examples that you give. I'm here.
Thank you. You are here. You've been here. You've been rock solid and consistent. And you do highlight one other thing that is important to the point of contact is patience. You know, we have to exercise patience in combat to get that right timing, like instructor said, the right when and the right where. That's tied. It's inextricably linked to patience, or better stated, patience can absolutely be utilized to your advantage. So the same with this stuff, not this stuff, but the truth that we're operating in. Since, you know, hey, I don't know how many years you've been on the planet, but I would dare say that the vast majority of them you didn't know nothing about, none of this. So be patient with yourself. As we come into the knowledge of the truth, it takes time. We have to get it down a little bit at a time. So you're doing great. You're doing better than great. You're doing excellent. Just be patient, and we just gonna keep trugging along together. So thank you for your consistency and for your share.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Brad, thank you. You're welcome. Brother Badley, Marquise.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
These last 4 weeks been phenomenal for me. Cause I applied to my daily life when we in the dojo. I noticed based off the mechanics, just when instructor Keith was talking to me the other day when I was doing a punch, my mechanics was off, and when I hit the board, I actually bruised my hand, and I came with power, but it's where I got the power from based off my mechanics. It was off, and when instructor Keith told me to relax my shoulders and get in the correct posture, I felt like the energy was flowing way better. So just picking up on all the knowledge that we gained over these 4 weeks and just applying it been just very helpful. And with the meditation, especially, just getting up at 4 o'clock, 4:40, to be able to do the meditation, it shows discipline. And through the meditation, I apply that to as well as to in the dojo, and I apply it to my daily life in my career that I'm in. Allowing myself to breathe when anxiety is starting to pick up, and to stay focused. And in the dojo, that's one thing I realize is being able to stay focused, because if you allow yourself to have these anxiety attacks or fear to pick up when we going crazy on the floor press, and you feel your body becoming fatigued, it's all really just a mind thing. So you got to eliminate that fear and have a warrior mindset. That's why I apply, live by, is just having a warrior mindset and just be like, okay, breathe, you got this, and overcome it. Same way in school, in my field, teaching with the kids, kids can be a hassle. So I allow myself to just breathe and be like, okay, they just kids. They really don't, understand. They still developing. So it's the ways to address, certain situations. So I appreciate the 4 weeks of the formative power. It was been really helpful for me a lot.
Thank you, brother. Excellent, man. As I always say, man, you work for it, man. You're gonna be great. You're growing rapidly in power in every way. So it's a thrill to have you be a part of us, man, and keep doing what you're doing, young man. Brother Aaron.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, man?
So unfortunately, this has been like my second week coming to the Zoom class. So I wasn't necessarily aware of the 4 a.m. meditation session, but I've been kind of with you guys' spirit, because on my own, I wake up at like 8 in the morning and meditate, pray, get my day started. And I've been really starting to do it more consistently at the beginning of the semester. And I guess that is, you feel me, 4 weeks. That's been 4 weeks since we started classes. But it's really been helping me stay focused with my classes, keeping me focused, because my days have been very long, early mornings, late nights. So I really rely on my meditation in the morning and my prayer, because it just really gets my mind right. And also with the formula of power, like I can contest to what instructor Aku was saying, like with his analogy at work, because I had to use like those same tactics with my father, because like me and my dad, I think we clash heads a lot sometimes because we're like so much alike. So I had to remember what I learned in the dojo and apply it. And most of the time it works for me. And sometimes I feel good about it because like if I do it, me and my dad will be arguing and I say something. He might not expect me to say whatever I said, and he's kind of like left. I don't want to say dumbfounded, but he's left in shock, if that makes sense. So like most definitely, the practices of the dojo I've been applying in my real life situation.
Excellent. And it's so fun. It's so I mean, I love y'all, man. My little brothers, my little nephews, like the tools that y'all putting in play, man, 20 years ahead of me, man. Boy, it's just, oh man, I just can't wait to see it unfold, man. Y'all so far ahead of the curve. So keep doing what you're
Dangerous
doing.
for sure.
Oh man, what? Past dangerous. It's lethal, man. Beautiful. Keep up the good work, nephew. Come on, Rafa. It's 9:41. Be mindful of time, family.
I'm gonna keep it short. Peace and
I ain't
love.
squeezing you. I ain't squeezing you. Just be mindful. That's all.
Oh, mindful. I'm squeezed. This lecture has been very important in my life, all of ours, but it's been very special. As most of y'all know, I got into a physical altercation some weeks ago, and one thing that came out of tonight's class was get in there and then get out of it. As far as going to that source of that power, and once it's done. Like I got there and then I stayed there for days, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. So hearing the physical formula of power, it transcended into other aspects of my life to where I'm able to let go a whole lot more and a whole lot better. Saturday's class, I stayed to my breath, and I had intention. Another word that came up constantly today, like my intention. I was determined to get through that floor practice, where I know in the past I have in my head given up. I wasn't getting hit by that damn stick Saturday night. So I kept going. I even broke a board, but that was cool as well. But for the most part, it was just not giving up. Mentally, it's all in the brain for me and maintaining that breath. So that Iron Shirt book really been helpful as well. I love it, and I've been devouring it. So that's it. I ain't gonna keep everybody long, but thank y'all for this, and can't wait for the next series. This was lit.
My man, love you, brother. You a monster, man. You know, you a monster, brother, and you got a high calling on your life, man. You know, not that we all don't, but your calling has you already in the spotlight as a leader, man, in the community, in the city, and with national implications, young man. So just keep doing what you're doing, brother. We love you. We appreciate you, and your martial prowess is visible. So I'm just excited to watch you continue to develop and thankful to be in your company, King. So thank you, brother. Theo, come on, bro.
Sorry about that. I had to run outside and get my notebook, so I could be efficient with this time and giving reflection. Formula for power. Definitely appreciate all the I think the most beneficial part for me was just the reflection, going back over everything. And then the efficiency in the tree pose, or the embracing the tree pose. I'm taking on bad language. Man. Anyway,
yes, thank you.
Embracing the tree. That practice has been extremely beneficial. Just the group meditation, also getting back into the flow of meditation regularly, and just reminding me the steps of the formula for power. You know what I mean? Like how they stack, which which comes first, second, third in terms of priority to increase the actual power that is developed. So
Sir.
definitely appreciate it. Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you, brother. Is sister there with you?
She is.
There she go. What up, G?
Hey, peace, everyone.
Please, come on, share something.
Well, I really appreciate the whole series just going into depth with the physical formula for power. This last one has me thinking a lot about just my ego and where it's not helping me. So I think I'm just gonna sit with these notes and figure out how to push through that.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're welcome. You know, it's funny because when I look at you and think about you, your ego, like I see no ego, but you know, ego is with all of us. So only you know where it's showing up. But rest assured, you will put it in its proper place and
Ego
position.
like perfectionism and trying to succeed.
Got you. Good.
Trying.
Well, you already got it located, so you'll deal with it from there.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I appreciate both of you, and we'll see you guys. Let's see you guys, but we'll see you too, hopefully tomorrow.
Peace. Yes, sir.
Peace.
7:30 sharp.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah, come on, bro. Remy, new and improved. You got to get a new profile picture too, brother. You must not be there. Come on, Q.
Peace, family.
Peace. Let us see
Peace,
your
peace,
face,
peace.
nephew. Let us see your face, man.
Oh, I'm here. My bad. I'm sorry.
You got to
I
wait.
can, I can go next. I can go next.
No. He got to wait now. Come on, Q.
I'll wait. I had to, my thing was off. But go ahead, Q. I ain't gonna step. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Peace, family. First and foremost, I love and miss all of y'all. No cap. I miss the energy of the dojo. I miss the space that we created over these past few years and built up from the ground. You feel me? So just want to say, a peace and you feel me? Hold on, to everybody. I miss all of y'all. But what I've been hearing is you guys really tapping into the applicable use of what meditation is. And for what I've internalized over my years of training is that what I've used it for is really tapping into a space inside and outside of myself that I escape to for when, for lack of better words, shit get real. And in those moments, there's solitude in the calmness and stillness of your mind, and the peace and serenity that comes with that calmness and stillness is what true meditation is. And there's power in that stillness. And I think it's dope and beautiful that you guys are really tapping into this new experience. And there's a lot more to come. I use meditation for damn near everything. I meditate every single time I wake up in the morning and every single time I go to sleep. Or before I go to sleep. So just keep working on that. Again, I love it. And I love all of you guys. I can't wait to get back down on the floor with y'all and the city. And it's only up from here.
Excellent. Couple things I want to leave you with or set with you, nephew. One, we go in at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can time up on your end, 5 to 5:30. And then the second thing is many of us have had extended time away from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that, however long that may be. Even Grandmaster was away from the floor for some time, years and years and years. But I say that to say, even in my own absence, you will be surprised how you still will develop even off the floor. So
Absolutely.
do not allow for a second, allow yourself to get disenfranchised or down, depressed, or any of those things because you're not physically on the floor. And you developed well enough before you departed that you know what to do. And so if you don't,
Absolutely.
if you just do, isolations, therefore, delivering perfectly in slow motion, from one leg, any number of things you can do physically, but the key is here. So
Absolutely.
you are already on top of it, man. So don't think twice about it. Just keep moving, and we'll see you when you get here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Instructor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And we'll add you to the meditation crew.
Okay.
All right, come on, Jeremiah. 951 family.
Right. Yeah. So this past week, past Saturday, this past weekend, Instructor Vaughn had asked us, after we got done with floor practice, what we thought, and I had said I needed to focus on like generating power. And so like after listening to today, and it's like really not. I'm looking at it again. It's like not really generating power, because that power is already there. I need to get the mechanics to be perfect to where that power can be delivered correctly. So, that I had to reiterate what I said from that day after today's lesson. So, moving forward, along with the metaphysical formula for power, I have to, just focus more so on that, precision in the physical formula for power, which, at this belt level, I know, and sometimes, we slack off, but sticking true to, what I know and what we all know works. And so making it a subconscious thing and no longer a conscious thing, to where it's no longer a thought, to where it just is. So, that's the focus.
That's excellent, brother. Great self-evaluation. You are growing too, man. You are a new creature, bro. So
thank you.
We can feel it. It can be felt. It can be seen. And so, it's a great timing for the new you that you have embraced to be revisiting, this foundation that we're building on top of the pinnacle of exemplification that our brother laid out over the weekend. So everything's pointing in the right direction, King. We appreciate you, man. We're just gonna keep moving. It's gonna be fantastic. Brother Christopher.
Hold on. Peace, instructor. Peace, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. I want to know, you said the morning meditations, those would be guided. Has that began yet, or is that still in the process?
They have begun. I would not call them guided in the sense that anybody is directing it, but they are guided in the sense that what we're doing is working through the 7 primary chakras day by day. So tomorrow will be the 7th day, or the 14th day will have us culminating with the crown chakra. And then the following day, we'll start all over again with the root. And Instructor Northleg has given us a soundtrack so that on each day we listen to the corresponding frequency. We listen to the frequency for the corresponding chakra day by day.
Excellent. Can someone add me to that group, please?
We'll put you in there. So the alarms go off at 4:45, so you can get up, get your hygiene, do what you got to do, get to the restroom. 5 o'clock, from 5 to 5:15, it's gratitude, whether that's prayer, however you do that. And then from 5:15 to 5:30, we are actually doing the meditation. The root and sacral chakras are done from the lotus position, and then the other 5 are done from embracing the tree. And
Okay.
so offline, I'll make sure that you get not the new and improved, but the clarified foundation for what embracing the tree looks like.
I got that video. It's on the YouTube page. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, yes, sir. That should be
It's
it.
an excellent video. I really appreciated it.
Okay, cool.
So for me personally, not just this past 4 weeks, I think maybe the past couple of weeks, I've been able to connect my phone to my vehicle while I'm driving, delivering for Amazon. So I'm listening in on like the philosophical talks while I'm working. And from being, away from the floor for so long, and a paternity leave, from just having a kid, it's been a lot. And I appreciate Brother Q's testimony, because I've had my own, personal feelings about being, away from it, and losing it. But at the same time, when I came back off paternity leave from massaging, like the massage that I did, it was a really good massage, and it was like, for some reason, it grew. So I have faith that, I'm still growing the discipline in my own way. And these talks are very, very helpful. Like I really enjoy having something that I actually care about, that I'm actually intrigued in intellectually, where I have a notebook right next to me. I'm writing down things that I feel actually matter and are important. I'm listening back to some of the talks, and to get some notes, or just to listen to them and to expound on more information. I've listened to some of the Eightfold Path, some of the chakra talks, and I think I need to go back over the Formula for Power talks as well, and get some notes on those too. But overall, I find it very helpful. But I do have a tendency to be a lazy student, whereas like I'm more, intellectual and learning and knowing things, as opposed to like doing them. So the meditations will be very helpful. And the only day I really have to go to the dojo is on Saturdays, because Wednesday is, late. The lady doesn't like to be home late without me there while she's got the baby, and I respect that. Mondays I'm working, so Saturday is really only day that I have, but that's such a small window. But it's no excuse for me not to be working at home or doing something. But through these talks and listening in on this, I am using them to rewire my brain to, be more involved in this. And so if I can get myself, thinking about it and putting my energy towards it, I know I can get myself willingly putting my, physical energy towards it as well, without much interference from my ego. Um, that's all I got. I appreciate everyone for sharing. I appreciate the classes, and everything I got going on in life. You know, it really does help out in its own way.
Excellent, brother. 3 things. Number 1, look at that. See, that's the first thing. He is the most important thing on the planet right now, brother. So whatever you have to do to support your family and cover that beautiful seed, man, that's the most important. We call that obeying the fight.
Thank you.
That's number 1. Number 2, you have already been added to the meditation chat. And number 3, do not let the word losing it come out your mouth anymore. You're not losing it. The seed has been planted. You are being on purpose about continuing to water and fertilize it. And number 4, get in there when you can. If Saturday is the day, come give yourself over to the space, and the space is going to give itself to you, brother. So all is well, man. That's a handsome little seed there, man. Ashe.
Amen. Thank you, instructor. I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome, man. We
very
appreciate you, man. Send your regards to your queen for us.
Roger that.
Yes, sir. Brother Hero.
Peace, family. How you doing?
That's the man. What's up, bro?
I'm doing very well. Tonight was another great class. Thanks again. The whole point of contact, all of the foundation for power has been, I really feel like y'all are taking us through the chambers. It's like I get to be in an old kung fu movie or something dealing with y'all. So I really have been appreciating the last 4 weeks. It has been awesome, a great growth, opportunity. And I'm working on getting my knuckles like yours. I got the tiger bomb out for the points of contact. That is so important because, like, y'all mentioned earlier, if it's incorrect, you can injure yourself. If you haven't been doing a mechanical condition, you can injure yourself. So all of these things, the directional flow, putting it all together, you all continue to give us these opportunities to temper the weapons and ourselves, and just being examples, Instructor Ghost showing what can be done. That's, that means everything, to be able to see, that's, one of my instructors. He did that. So I know I could do that if I put in the work. I'm with you. I'm like, I want to get back in the buckets, So, I'm really appreciative for the 36 chambers and you, Instructor Aku, what you put together for us, the suggestions, the creation of the meditation group, during this class session. This has been awesome. It's been a great opportunity to continue to grow and expand my dimensions and to be along with my peers and other like-minded people. I'm with Christopher. Like, it's exciting to be able to be excited about what I'm doing, taking notes and participating and, growing with the family. Just thank you. Thank you very much. That's all I got.
Thank you, brother. Your input is huge, man. Your energy is big. Your energy is welcome and much appreciated. From the video you dropped a couple weeks ago to your inputs in the intellectual talk we had on Saturday to your efforts on the floor, man. So you make it all worthwhile, brother. So I appreciate you. And you reminded me, family, we finally found the doggone spray bottle. I am going to put the funnel in my bag tonight, and tomorrow we'll be able to transfer the Vidijal to a spray bottle so that we don't waste it, and we can have better control and we can administer it in a more efficient manner. And we're also going to be ordering another big vat because it takes a long time to cure and it's quite expensive. But the work that we put in, we're going to need some more. So we'll control it with the spray bottle. So thank you for that, hero. Good, praise God. That's right, I know, Paul, you funny. Okay, Brother Raphael. 10:02, family, we got some people to go. You're on mute, bro, you're on mute.
Sorry about that, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, how everybody doing tonight? We good? Peace.
Excellent, peace, bro.
I'm gonna try to keep it real short. I've been taking this meditation and embracing this tree quite seriously because it's been so uncomfortable for me, and I've been taking it and using it towards a lot of it towards my daily. You know what I mean? Just trying to put everything in order and keep everything settled in my life. You know what I mean? I got these kids, this business, working again for someone else as well. So, you know what I mean? All those things I'm putting together causes, the level of anxiety to skyrocket. So, but the meditation helps keep me calm. So I can't say that. So it's been working for me in that aspect. So keep it short. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Excellent, man.
Yes, sir.
You growing. Yesterday you tapped into a new space, man. So keep doing what you're doing and
Yes,
joining us in that meditation, brother. Remember,
put me on the list. I'm in there in the morning.
Okay, we'll get you added. Just remember, you just getting started, bro. So be patient with yourself, man. Be patient with yourself.
That's the hard part. Patience is something I'm still learning every day, man. You know what I'm saying?
As a grown man, you know that patience is a virtue and patience is required. And we can fight with it or we can accept it and we can grow, but you're going to get it one way or another.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you, brother. Javion. Okay, Brother Ibrahim. No, Ibrahim. Okay, where I'm at. Isa. Oh, wait. Paul. Y'all keep moving on me.
Peace, y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. Instructors, thank you. Instructor Aku, Instructor Ghost, Instructor Nate, Instructor North Leg, Instructor Vine. Thank y'all. My point of contact, what I got from the lecture tonight, definitely looking at the physical formula for power from a virtual standpoint, more so than ever now. And I realized that, circling back to what Instructor Ghost said about breaking the board with the forehand pierce, that it is not about force. And I can't remember, someone else talked about the wrist, breaking with the wrist, and how they forced it and it didn't break. It might have been Jeremiah, I can't remember. And then
It was.
and then he did it effortlessly. And I need to be reminded in my virtual space that my point of contact needs to adjust and be more penetrating and not stopping at the surface. And I need to unpack what the cause of me in the virtual space stopping at the surface of some things, or with certain exchange partners, why I'm doing that metaphysically. What is the root cause of me? What is my apprehension? Why is ego showing up in the way that it is, as a fear of sorts? What exactly am I fearing and not penetrating completely? And so the point of contact on my opponent and my exchange partner, I must put my focus, my visualization, and my intention on that, and recognize why fear is showing up in a virtual space with certain exchange partners. So it's just more internal work, and I'll leave it at that. So thank you for the reminder, because it was it actually showed up for me today. So thank you.
Thank you, brother, for always being so honest with self. And I definitely, you brought up a question that I'm gonna search myself on, because I seem to be dealing more surfacely with some important topics by myself in my own life versus really penetrating through that thing. So that's a great word, man, a great segue. Thank you very much. Issachar.
Peace, family. Today's class was exceptional, real exceptional. Beautiful touch up. This entire physical formula for power has been, just that, like a real beautiful. As well, as much as it's been a touch up, I've learned and tweaked and added some new perspectives to the physical formula for power, but specifically point of contact. I realized, and shout out to Instructor Ghost, thank you, because I've always thought during the physical formula for power point of contact, what it is that I'm doing to an opponent or an assailant, rather than their point of contact or my point of contact, and how I can use that power in just shifting and manipulating what they're targeting. So what it is that they're trying to hit. And I've heard, in conversations about, just point of contact change and shifting and so on and so forth. But for some reason, just in this conversation and just listening, it made me understand, and it really clicked in my mind, like, oh, okay, from your shift of, point of contact or whatever movement you do, if I'm applying a strikeless mentality, like, I don't know, it's just a lot of possibilities. Like, it would sound crazy if I was to just tell y'all what I, just saw in my mind, then do to like a strikeless multiple or whatever. But I really like that touch up. I really like that new perspective. I really liked being able to watch and really see, okay, this is how deliberate you have to be and how precise. Precision was key. The virtual dojo practices, again, even with the actual physical movement of my point of contact, in the virtual dojo as well, like Instructor Vaughn was speaking to, like deflection and things in that aspect to people not wanting to hear something, and that's just you, not being succinct, or not. That's just you not wanting. That's your ego essentially, and you not wanting to, just accept and hear that insult for what it really is, but just hear it. You see what I'm saying? Just listen to it and understand all that can come from it. So I got a lot that I'm deciphering and chewing on for sure. But again, beautiful class. Forever grateful.
Man, excellent, nephew. Thank you, man. You just keep on showing up in the growth, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. I like that, and I like that terminology, a touch up. Yeah, but more. Touch up, but more. But that's you. That's beautiful. Sister Taj.
I'm driving, so I'm not gonna put my video out. You ain't gonna be able to see me. But the most I took out of each class in and out of the dojo would probably be the meditation, because that has helped me in the training and outwardly, because I feel way more relaxed, like waking up at that time and really being able to start my day with being still, instead of waking up chaotic or waking up rushing or waking up with a bunch of stuff on my mind and carrying that on into my day. And learning some of the mechanics. I don't know all of them. I couldn't really listen today because I had a lot of family stuff going on. But I think it's called flow of direction, or direction of flow. And that
Directional
helped
flow.
me. Yeah, direction of flow. That helped me when I was doing some of the mechanics. It felt more accurate. Like those subtle movements of adjustments, those subtle adjustments really helped the impacts, or I can feel the difference in the strike. And like I said, the best thing was the meditation for me, especially since I've been really working. I know where I need the most. I can say healing in, and that will probably be my throat chakra, my solar plexus, and my heart chakra. And those three things has helped. Focusing on those each day has helped me build more confidence within myself, and just build way more strength. Just increase the strength in my mind. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful I made the choice, the decision to come and to stay with it. And I'm grateful for all of you. And yeah, I'm just full of gratefulness for everything.
It's so funny because I was sitting here and my first thing I was going to say is your language choices were immaculate. You only said one improper word would strengthen your mind, substitute that with power, but it really speaks to the energy that you bring to the space. You come as a faithful student. You're working hard, and I see a lot of power going to develop in you. So we really appreciate your efforts. Know that it is being noticed, and thankful for your presence too. So I'm glad that you made the decision to be with us and that it is already showing up and serving you in your life. So I shade to that.
Ashe, thank you.
Very, very welcome.
Peace.
The goddess Salamatu.
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
hi.
Pardon
Pardon
me,
me,
you
you
guys.
guys.
I'm gonna
I'm
leave
gonna
my
leave my.
camera off because as you can hear, my phone is echoing.
You sound good now.
Okay, good. I wonderful class, wonderful this entire last 4 weeks. It really brought a lot of things together. First, I want to actually go back and say thank you for preparing all of these lectures. Thank you for expediting them and the entire thing. It's such a big process. Just like when instructor Keith went through that whole process of doing right speech, I thought, wow. And now this whole rollout, connecting all these things to all of our blows and all of our floor practice, it's a lot. So I want to say thank you for that. That's big for a lot of reasons for me. I have so much I want to share, but I know we don't have a lot of time. I'll just say that I feel like this entire last 4 weeks, I've felt myself grow. Instructor Vaughn mentioned how this entire process has caused a huge growth, and I feel it in myself, and I feel it in the entire dojo with every single individual. I feel the connection with all of these lessons. I feel all the different lessons connecting in class, on the floor, in practice. Even instructor Keith mentioned that, he noticed I wasn't using the closed fist as much anymore. And part of that is you taking us to the Makawara, and another part of that is this last 4 weeks being able to really go through this whole system and really be able to break it down. And by being able to break it down, I'm able to process it and apply it. So I really appreciate these, and I'm looking forward going forward, us just continuing to delve into this. I feel like the growth also for me has been that I feel a growth in my confidence on the floor through these lessons and this series. So I'm really inspired for more. And I wanted to say something about also instructor Ghost. When I appreciate instructor Nathan making that point about him in his craneness. I'll just say his craneness, when he said he looked like a perfect crane, and it was so true, all the way down to his fingertips, and looked like the bottom of a wing of a crane. And I want to say that everybody has expressed how it has transformed them or inspired them. And for me, what it did for me was, I know that most of us can relate to that experience where you witness something that just like witness something that blows your mind back so far that you're just like, oh my goodness, it makes you feel like I can do anything by witnessing that thing in front of you. And I feel like what I witnessed with that was I witnessed not only him breaking that board, I felt like I witnessed all of his dedication, all of his discipline, all of his, just all of that discipline up until that very moment of his entire experience with Kenpo. So I just want to say I appreciate it for that, because it made me feel like I can do anything. And because not just because he broke that board, but because I witnessed all of his discipline. And so that inspired me, and that inspired my discipline. And I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate that. And yeah.
I think that was very astute. You always have great points, and you culminated that with a very astute takeaway. And that's powerful, because I think you coined it excellently. And I know for a fact that he has inspired me as well. So I think he's inspired all of us. And to the point that you made with regard to bearing witness to something, I got present to this years ago, that the vast majority of famous people that we know are famous for doing one thing or doing one thing well. And it is those moments in times, or those people that have that particular gift, that changes us. And so it was just, I mean, it's a really big deal. Like, it was historic. And to your point, it absolutely is a driver for me and for all of us. I mean, you couldn't have said it no better. I won't even repeat it, but you coined it excellently, because we did bear witness to all the work. Say again.
His discipline was right there in front of us.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Brother Kenyatta, I see you. We coming to you next. Not next, Sister Randy. You're there.
Yes.
Okay, come on.
Peace, family. How y'all doing?
Peace.
Yes. Thank you, Instructor Aku. Thank you, all instructors. The end of this series, this 4-part to the physical formula of power, gave us a chance to get in depth to each segment of it, that I much appreciate. I haven't been in a physical space lately, but I definitely have been dedicated to these classes on Tuesday since we began this series. So just taking notes and reflecting on what was taught to me previously and what I'm experiencing now did give me the opportunity to reflect on how it affects me in the virtual and also the physical space. So that's something that I do appreciate, a lot of growth within myself, us getting into the chakras, me getting into mechanical conditioning, focusing on my point of contact and my directional flow, are things that I wouldn't have been even getting into if it wasn't for me getting into this discipline. So I do want to thank you all for allowing me to be welcome into this space as I learn and grow. Instructor Aku.
It might be a tech glitch or something.
You called me, Randy?
You walked away.
I realized I didn't have my telephone, and I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. I heard you. I heard what you said. Did you call my name though?
Yes, that was after you walked away, because I had to make sure that we wasn't really just glitching out. But since I know that you're still here with us, then all is truly well. So as I was saying, I haven't been in the physical space lately. And a lot of the previous calls I missed out on, you guys going over the Eightfold Path, being live up until this point where we're going over the physical formula of power. And I have been present and dedicated these last 4 classes. So to see this come to an end, I know it's just growth for everyone and that we will be moving forward. But reflecting on my time being within the discipline, just us getting into the individual segments week by week, being able to cover things, me taking my personal notes, as we get in depth and how it applies in my life, in the physical and in the virtual space. And again, I wanted to thank all of you instructors, everyone that's a part of the clan, because this is a new experience for me. These are things that I might have heard of that I've never even wanted to tap into. Okay, yeah, I know about the chakras, blah, blah, blah. Even in getting into our training for that, the 7 days, our mechanical conditioning and things, or frequencies, things that I was familiar with, but was not applying to my day-to-day life. So again, us getting into that training, getting into this 4-part series, it has a great impact on my life. And I do appreciate everyone. And I will see everyone on the floor tomorrow evening for sure.
Excellent. We appreciate you and your growth and your commitment. It has been seen and felt and heard, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yes, peace.
Peace. Thank you. Kimmit, Sister Kimmit. I have not forgotten about you, Emerson.
She posted in the print.
Oh, she can't talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, M.
Peace, family. These last 4 weeks have been great. Just been working on staying in harmony with feeling accomplished and still working towards the asymptote. The 10th chakra and the root chakra have been in full effect. I believe it's time for me to get more rooted in my actions. Getting, knowing that it's power just in my stance alone. Since we always connected to that 10th chakra and the earth, and I know you mentioned that to me. I believe it was the first time we was on the floor since the Greenbelt test. And during the floor practice, you was like, man, you don't really have to do that much to generate power anymore. It's a different battle now. So me just being consistent and staying within my own practice and sticking to my fundamentals is the goal now. Yeah, but waking up, being in that meditation has been perfect. Courting power early on. I've been hearing a lot better, listening a lot better. So it's been awesome. Very, very appreciative for y'all, for sure.
We appreciate you, man. You moving rapidly. I've been watching you, watching your exchange, and yeah, you all the way there, brother. So keep doing what you do, Em. We relying on you, brother. Y'all changing the future, man. Love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Love you too, man. Yes, sir.
Kenyatta.
Peace instructor. In fact, peace not only instructor Cool, but instructor Ghost, instructor North, instructor Vondre, instructor Nate, if he's still online. I don't know if instructor Nate is still online. Okay. But yeah, man, I just I'm not going to say a whole lot, man. I'm just going to just say, I'm just inspired, man, by by your leadership, man. I love how you just model the discipline, man, and sometimes, man, I'll read your meditation, your commentary, man. I feel like, damn, dog, like I need to kind of get there, dog. Like I'm not quite there. Like, how is he doing that?
It's a mutual exchange, because I've looked at yours, like I don't see no colors. I ain't feeling no vortexes. So we're gonna get it together.
Yeah, yes, sir, man. But it's all reflective of living the discipline, and just in terms of like the build that we're at right now, and just in terms of like the formula for power, like the formula for power never gets old, man. And one piece that I discovered just recently, just dealing with that challenge of getting up in the morning when going to bed late and still employing meditation. Like yesterday, I didn't do the meditation, but I had got up and I noticed how my body was calling for it, and I thought that was interesting. I was like, damn, like my even though I was up, and I was like, damn, like I am off, like my body is actually, the body is calling for it. It's like it's not even set right, and I was like, wow, and so So this morning I made sure I was definitely up on it. I was like, I'm not gonna, because even I couldn't even sleep right, like that, which was interesting. Like I couldn't even sleep right because my body was needing the meditation. And so I went into meditation today, and it was great just because it's always going to be great. But it was a challenge. It was a challenge to deal with the sensations and deal with just the physical experience just while staying present and focused. So I was in and out of being spatial, but I was appreciating it all, man. And it just tells you that, you know, you have to walk the journey, man. You got to walk that journey to discover everything that's there for you. And so I'm just inspired, man. And you know, looking at Instructor Ghost, just employ that, just with that blow to the board, man. I was just like, my God. And it just goes back to courting power. But in order to court power, you got to let go. You know, and a lot of times we think we have to strengthen it out, and it's not that. It's just strengthening it out and generating it and just letting go and just letting power come through you is just really an art in itself, man. And so I'm just inspired, man, to just reach higher, man, and just keep growing in it, man. And so I appreciate you, instructor, man. You did a beautiful job. I love your model of leadership, man. And just continue, man. I love seeing you rise, man. You believe me, man. I'm looking up at you, man, but I'm coming too, man. I'm coming.
Hey, brother. Listen, man, I thank you. I thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words. I love you, brother. I love your heart, man. I love your language. But we are traveling together, man. So just that cut and dry, plain and simple. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Okay, so it is 10:30. We came across a few names that did not respond. I see one more iPhone. Is that my daughter under the other iPhone, or is that brother Raphael on the iPhone?
It's probably Alex.
Probably my daughter. Let me see your face. Let me see your face. There she is. Hi, beautiful.
Hello.
Come on, talk to us.
I'm actually kind of disappointed that I missed out on the couple of weeks that you were doing the segment. And I just really love.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I said I was just really proud and excited to hear everybody's feedback on their journey. And it just really made me smile the whole time listening to it, because it was just nothing but peace and love and positive vibes. So
yes, indeed.
I'll definitely be coming around more. And it just inspired me to want to come around more, because like I said, it just felt so good hearing all the positive feedback and everybody talking about their journey and what they've been able to take in. So keep up the good work, everybody.
Okay, baby. Thank you. Come on, plug in. I know you on the West Coast time, so our 4:30, our 4:45 is only 1:45 over there. So, you know, but even if you're not up at that time, just plug in and get in tune with the chats. It's always a ton of positivity and some dependable comedians. So love you. Thank you for coming on today, sweetheart.
Love you too.
All right. Okay, let's move into our instructors. Start with instructor Nate. You still online? There you
Yes, sir. I'm still here. All right, let's see. A couple things. Heard a couple people talking about how they were concerned about the discipline leaving them. And I just wanted it to be clear that as long as you choose to live, the discipline will always be with you. As long as you never give up on yourself, the discipline will never give up on you either. And the growing you do off the floor is just as important as the growing that you do on the floor. And this formula for power is incredibly important. You'll actually get to a point where you start to realize that it doesn't matter what position you're in or how awkward it is or how uncomfortable or strenuous it is. Even like every position is a combat position. You'll learn to strike from that position. It won't even matter. In fact, you'll get to a point where you start learning traps and locks, and then the extended throws and all that too. And then people will hold you down, multiple people in all kinds of different ways. And you'll actually find that you are powerful there too. And it doesn't even matter how you're being held down or what position you're in or any of that. Like, you are power. That power is you. So embrace yourself, embrace that power, embrace the distance. Like to say is, I love all of you guys and I love these classes. Like, you all explore different facets of the discipline that we just haven't gone into in Denver yet. And it's been a wild experience to be here and growing with you all. And honestly, I want to start joining for me, and I do want to apologize once again for the beginning of class being a little choppy and a little broken up. I went through what felt like all day floor practice at work, but it took me a little bit to let go of that, and I'm here and I'm focused again. So I love you all, family, and I apologize to you too, Sister Salama, for not being able to pull up your name, immediately. But you are all family. I love and appreciate, admire you all. You all have a place in the discipline. You all have something to contribute. So, never give up and never doubt yourself. Like, you are the power. This discipline is you. And honestly, what we're doing is we're just poking and prodding to pull it out of you.
Thank you, Instructor Nate. I heard you. The 7-week-old puppy is running havoc while I'm attempting to stay focused on my class. Thank you very much, brother.
Instructor Nate, you're all good on my name, okay? All love. Yeah, Kenyatta's laughing because he's done some things with it.
You weren't supposed to hear me laughing. Let me mute myself, right?
Instructor, I don't know which way to go now. Instructor Ghost, no, we're going to go Instructor Northleg. Instructor Ghost is the star of the show today. Stop it.
Definitely excellent class, as it's been the last 4 weeks. I'm glad you took the reins on this and, really exploded out this formula for power. And I hope this is a lesson to everybody in how the discipline is alive and growing. So at one point, the formula for power meant one thing because it was a reflection of the times that we were in. So it was what it needed to be in the moment that it was created or developed. But now combat is different in 2021 than it was, in 1968 when this formula for power first was developed or first was introduced. And this particular series just shows the aliveness and shows the growth, not only in the discipline, not only in the principle, but in its teachers and practitioners. And to me, this whole thing was just a reflection of the evolution of the discipline and the true living embodiment of the New Testament, that which is us, that's being written, digitally, virtually, but at the same time being written in the annals of history. So thank you.
You so cold, bro. You so cold. I hate to do this to you, but Instructor Ghost.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Instructor North Leg is something else, brother. My goodness. But great job, Instructor Aku. Fantastic job, man. Great series. I guess what I can say to everyone is, and what keeps coming to mind for me, and in the experience is letting go. Just gotta let go. you know, and we've broken down the formula for power, and it has a new meaning for all of us, even all of us who know it inside and out, you know. But the way I understand point of contact, mechanical conditioning, and all the components, as I did 4 weeks ago, it's an evolution now in that, in the understanding of formula for power. So I'm truly grateful and blessed to be an inspiration to all of us. You know, it's an honor, and I just can't stress that enough. And I truly appreciate the support and gratitude. And the instructors, you know, they joke and they say, brother, you just raised the bar, you know, and it's just, that's what we're about. You know, we raise the bar and we keep evolving, you know, because we're perfecting, you know. So we keep growing, you know. And Salama brought up something that was important, that stood out, and it was just eloquently stated. But the fact that she now believes, or she knows that, you know, I can do this, it lets me know that I'm doing my job, you know. And more importantly is the fact that it occurred from someone inside of our collective. It came from one of us and not a practitioner outside of our collective, is better stated. It's one thing to say we have the metaphysical and, you know, the physical formula and this and that, and then we show a video of someone executing it, and okay, cool. But when it comes from one of us, you know, it's real, you know, and you know, that's what this is about. Just really being a representation of all that we share in its full expression. And I'll just leave it at that.
That was masterful, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Sir. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Love you more.
Dr. Vondre Glass, close us out.
Hey, man.
Hey, brother.
So, man, Instructor Aku, you just have continued to amaze me in your growth. You are truly growing quicker or faster than you actually realize it. I can just remember not too long ago when we first started the instructional class, and what we were unfolding, or what we were blessed to collectively unfold, was initially not taken seriously, referred to oftentimes as, well, all of that talk. And now just to look at and see and witness what is unfolding beyond you, where when you speak, your thoughts vibrate at such a level that it quickens people around you. And those who write off or belittle all of that talk are truly one-dimensional. and will forever be so. They won't even be able to hold a light to you and can't do it now. So it's just, man, refreshing, empowering to look now at you from the start of that class to now. Man, it's humbling. Really proud of you and what you have accomplished thus far, and what you will accomplish in the future. So, man, just continued growth, and even the commentary added by the other instructors is just proof that this is a live art that grows exponentially. And you can realize power from every vantage point. It's just humbling for me to be in the same room. So, man, I just appreciate you. Appreciate all the instructors, and just appreciating students that actually make you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All of the students who are, on with us and have tolerated all of that talk.
Yes, sir.
And have grown in ways that are on the floor and off the floor.
Yes, sir.
And will continue to grow, because this will sit with them in ways that other instructors won't even be able to touch.
Yes, sir.
So appreciative of you, appreciative of all of the students, and really, because the students, as Instructor North has always said, students grow us.
Absolutely.
They grow us in a way that if we keep investing in our students and giving of ourselves like this, the return on investment is going to be so great.
Yes, sir.
That we won't even have a warehouse large enough to receive it.
No, sir.
So, man, I'm just appreciative of you, all of the instructors, and especially all of the students.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, instructor. Thank you for always continuing to prove that you are the leader of this clan for a reason. You showed out as usual on Saturday in your physical display, in your metaphysical display. Yeah, you are a master teacher, brother, master educator. And I'm proud to follow your lead, and I continue to serve as a faithful steward in general under your direction, brother. And to the point that you made about these students, and we just scratching the surface, because what we are carrying, the motivation, the inspiration, the focus. I mean, it's just so many things. It's just so much going on, and it's beyond words. So it's just a pleasure to be a part of it, and we continue to hold ourselves accountable. And what is clear though is that we are operating in truth as individuals that are subduing ego, because we have a clear-cut example of where ego showed up in the past, that forced us to grow. And the results, the fruit of being true to the discipline, because as an instructor, it's our responsibility to make them better than us. And we know firsthand that there are individuals that come to various disciplines without that is the intent, where they want to stay the top dog. They want to be the one that's focused on. And in doing so, they really are cheating not only the students, but they're cheating themselves. And so the growth that we're seeing is truly due to the fact that we are living on purpose about making everyone we touch better than us, not holding back any secrets, giving them all the juice to make them the best that they can be. And it's operating effectively in our lives outside of the space. It's going to grow us in our martial practices, but most importantly, is pushing the discipline onward and upward in such a way that's going to get us in contact with the Most High and the ancestors. And
Yes,
then
sir.
it's going to happen. So I love y'all. It's almost
brother.
My two brothers that did not get to speak, we did call on you. Let that sit in you. We love you. As Grandmaster would say, let it burn. And you know you'll have plenty of opportunity to share in the future. Peace, love, protection, and prosperity, family. We'll see y'all in a minute.
All right. Good night, brothers.
Peace and
Peace.
love. Good night.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace,
Good night,
peace,
brothers and sisters.
peace.
All right.
Peace, everybody.
Peace
Peace and love,
and
everyone. Peace and
Love
love.
you
Peace and
guys. Good night,
love.
everybody.
Peace
Love
and
you,
love.
instructors.
Love
Peace.
y'all.
Peace.
Peace, family.